where crimes are baked in every show, mysteries rise and truth unfolding. Lally said it's time to go. We say it's time to go. Whistling clues, battering news, mixing stories, solving the lies. In this kitchen, secrets are broken with a spark in our eyes. In the broken baker's kitchen, the secrets crumble like sunrise. We'll sift the clues to find the rules with a spark in our eyes. The broken rise. Broken rise. Welcome to the Broken Baker. Get ready. Let's go.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whoever you are, whatever you are, what if anything you are, and welcome to this special late night edition, which is late night for me, evening for you. But my neighbor decided that he was slamming something against the trash cans an hour ago. I woke up and I started reading Lally's motions to dismiss that he entered in today, and that Bev wanted the defense to argue after 5 minutes. Hello, Jamie.
Hi.
And then I got upset when I read it. So I thought, what better than me having an aneurysm on screen to drive up the views? So that's what I thought we should do. Just read through the motions, and we can have an aneurysm together. Have you read them,
Oh.
Jamie?
No.
Okay, so maybe it's just me overreacting because I'm running on 90 minutes of sleep. But now we have a small crowd, so we can just say, good evening, whiskey, and any tea. And Salty Dog, it's 2:30 in Denmark. No, I was woken up and I thought, well, no better time to stream than now, because then I can take the day off tomorrow. Yeah, he started banging. Oh no, it's the trash cans, not someone. Well, if I was planning on doing it in the morning, not at 2:30 in the morning. Baker after dark, yes. Hey, Christine. I think the expert having insomnia may have rubbed off on Baker. No, again, it was my neighbor banging. But this stupid old Baker brain, when it wakes up with a start, it thinks, oh, you're late for work, so you better get out of bed. And so I'm 80% ready to go.
Okay.
Yes, please tickle the like button. Vinny Vinny was pissed off about Lally and the video today. The amount of people I have answered on Twitter today about this video today about, oh, the defense should just throw the towel in the ring. Have you watched this? I was just watching the very, very good channel, The Young Jerks, and they have this Bedlow on, and he said sanctions should be coming against Lally for this number.
But they won't.
No, but they should.
Yeah.
Because he misrepresent evidence all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Insomnia can't be contagious. Well, when I was over by him, we went to bed at the same time, but I got up way earlier than him. I'm not sure. It's YouTube. We never know. Yep. Every lawyer out there who has an ounce of integrity should be peed off at Lally for this stunt with the video, never mind the BS motion. Well, I saw a very good lawyer. I think she has me blocked now on you and X as well. Mama Doink. saying this case is over. There's nothing in it anymore. It's so clearly she's guilty. Marissa is the one who posted it, and it's on the Discord if you don't want to hear my gravelly voice. But I thought we could have fun. It's nasty weather here from the extreme heat all day, severe storms and tornado warning. Oh, stay safe. Hey, Iris.
Hi, Iris.
Hey, Tim. Well, have you ever met guys? If you say, don't do that, guys will do it. Where is the evidence Karen did it? They'll bring it in next week.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Tracy Dean. You're still on Bukaki testimony. Oh.
She's not all the way through
Aneurysm
yet.
evening. Good morning to you as well, John, and thank you for being a member for 4 months. I really hope they are. I really hope. Never, ever, ever, never, ever. They looked in the house. Fubar, I was only doing this for you. I thought, what would Fubar do? And I thought, stream. So that's why I went live. No, they never searched the house. I think he said they looked in the house. Oh, you're welcome, Rachel. Hey, I'm Rabbit. Thank you so much. Oh, and a Gosney raid. Thank you so much, Gosney. Thank you so much. Hey, Jess. I saw you were reading naughty books earlier. No, when your brain is programmed to just wake up and go, you stay up for an hour or two. Mark Pedro is amazing. He's a very good on-screen lawyer as well, because some lawyers are a little too smart, and they are maybe not the best communicators, but he's a really good lawyer.
Oh, yeah.
Jacob Castro, and thank you all the Gosney Raiders. Marissa.
Hey, Marissa.
Yeah, the problem in this case, she's either going to prison of freedom, and they are playing all the tricks. They will come up with some excuse. Lally will say he didn't know. Yeah, it's gonna be stupid. Look who's here, Jackpot Springs. It's been a while.
Hi, Jackpot.
I'm not gonna acknowledge that. Yeah, that was a clear misrepresentation. Banging neighbors are a win for us. More Baker claps. Hit the thumbs up. Don't make him bang because Saturday I have to go to something, so I can't be up all night. I have to go see my daughter. So no Stapia Day on Saturday. Thank you, Irish. Yes, that's why I was a little afraid Jamie didn't make it.
I am getting sleepy.
I will get some rest tomorrow. Thank you so much for being a member for 7 months, Iron Rabbit. And Whiskey, thank you for gifting 10 memberships to Danny T, Shelly Babes, Matzi Abianati, Rossman Brands, Ralphie, Chapped Ass. I thought you got one the other day. Jill, Jen Pookie, Mimi, Divergence More, and Shawfrost. Chloe did it. Well, keep that in mind, because that will have. We'll go back to that in this motion. Because the name we found out to begin with was a dog bite expert who had written studies for Harvard about this. So, well, yeah. I don't understand how anyone could believe she is guilty. Tail lights don't break from hitting a person. No blood, no injuries from the waist down, plus the 227. Mia, it's pure and simple. They don't like Turtle Boy. And because they don't like Turtle Boy, that cult got together and started believing she did it. And now, if you go and watch all their Twitters the last 2 days after these horrendous testimonies by Bukaki, you will see they have upped everything, calling everyone late in French, called everyone. I love that they started using the "you're retards." Yeah, because name calling shows us you have all the arguments. Yeah, they looked in the foyer. You're dumb enough to be a good communicator. Yeah, and because you're not smart enough to get bogged down in all the technicalities. Oh my.
Oh boy.
Oh, and then she says it was a lie. Ugh.
Tricked you.
I can't get past the following. Cops throwing away phones. Cop sells house. Cop gets rid of dog. No ring cameras. No camera at cop's house. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
That's good to hear, because I heard from some other people I know in Boston that no one have heard about this story.
What?
Yeah, I heard somebody said they didn't know anything, and that cops thought that not cops, but people felt that people were being harassed by the Karen Reed side. Great programs, enjoying it. Thank you, Tim Swoop.
Thanks, Tim.
But should we get to it?
Yeah.
This is the renewed motion for reciprocal discovery and
Yeah.
motion to exclude defendant's expert, Dr. Marie Russell. Her name is Dr. Marie A. Russell. But still, on April 15, the day before, prior to trial, the defendant provided the Commonwealth with a witness list which contained the names of civilians, police, blah, blah, blah. On April 22, the Commonwealth filed Commonwealth's renewed motion for reciprocal. Why can't I say it?
Reciprocal.
Reciprocal discovery and renewed request for voir dire of any proposed defense expert. During that week of jury impanelment, the defendant was ordered to comply within 1 week with mass blah blah blah. That's a ruling, previous ruling. On April 29th, opening statements were made and the trial testimony commenced. The defendant sporadically provided reciprocal discovery to the Commonwealth on May 1st and May 7th. See Commonwealth v. Reynolds, blah. A defendant's discovery obligation includes impeachment evidence, allowing the defendant to withhold such evidence against a witness who is certain to be called to testify would undermine the discovery rules and allow attorneys to return to trial by ambush. Theatrics do not accord with our discovery process. The defendant have failed to comply with Massachusetts crime barrier, which requires the defendant to produce all intended expert opinion evidence, including all written reports and opinions that pertain to this case and the identity of anything upon which the expert bases their opinions. Commonwealth v. blah provides for an automatic exchange of discovery regarding intended expert opinion evidence. The Commonwealth again renews its motion for reciprocal discovery. On April 15, the defendant identified Chris V.E., PhD, as a potential expert, witness in biomedical and mechanical engineering. The defendant proffered that Mr. Van E. will testify regarding his opinions and conclusions regarding the Commonwealth reconstruction and the EDR data obtained in connection with this case. He will testify to the chronological data derived from the EDR, including key cycles and triggering events from the time period in question. However, this description fails to comply with Mass R Crime Pla 14, which requires the defendant to disclose the opinions rendered, all intended opinion evidence, and any reports prepared by the expert. That's that's quite a mouthful. So they didn't give them everything they wanted, so now they don't want that expert in.
Yeah, that's what they say. I want to
Yeah,
hear.
that's what they say is the rule.
I know, but man, I can't wait to hear the argument.
No, because they argued this before. And this,
He's gonna argue it again. I'm so excited.
and luckily now we can have a guy who maybe knows anything about this.
I have
Hey,
no
Dave.
clue.
Hi,
No
Dave.
clue. How is everybody?
Oh, getting heated.
When was this motion filed? This was a day before trial, or
Today.
No, this motion was filed.
Today,
oh,
right?
this is the one that they were talking about today, huh?
It was
Mhm.
filed on the 6th. So it was
the
filed
6th.
yesterday. Well, for you,
Today.
today in the morning before trial.
Nice.
And Bev wanted the defense to argue it if they got 5 minutes.
Yeah, and they're like, we would really like the chance to respond to this, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems appropriate to maybe let's read it first and develop a legal response.
Yeah. But did I read this wrong? That the ruling was in regards to a defendant's discovery obligation includes impeachment evidence allowing the defendant to withhold such evidence against a witness who is certain to be called. This hasn't anything to do with a witness that they withhold evidence against. It's the defendant's experts.
Right. And so the defendant listed an expert as a possible rebuttal witness. Is that my
No,
understanding?
to argue against the Commonwealth's theory on the EDR from the car, the black box in the car.
Oh, okay. So no, it's appropriate. Like I just had one of these hearings on one of my cases, and it's appropriate to present rebuttal witnesses, even if they're expert witnesses. You could do it last minute. You can do it whatever. That's the purpose of a rebuttal witness. So were they trying to say that they can't call this expert?
They want it out because they didn't provide the reports and everything. So it's back to theatrics and trial by surprise. Because the defendant, again, as he the ruling he says, Commonwealth v. Reynolds says, allowing the defendant to withhold such evidence against a witness.
Allowing the defendant to withhold such evidence against a witness who is certain
to be called to testify would undermine the discovery rules and allow attorneys to return to trial by ambush.
Certain to be called, though, doesn't mean anything. You can put the same witness on every single witness list that you have possibly filed, Commonwealth, and it doesn't mean that you have to call them. Like Proctor. Is he certain to be called, Commonwealth? Sorry.
Yeah,
No.
and that's to me, that's why I got a bit heated, because this is, again, he's misstating what the ruling states. Yeah. And he has done this before. And when we went back and saw, he misstated the cocktail glass on the bumper, the cocktail glass embedded in the bumper, and he will misstate what Giannetti said in his opening statement later. So
you know why they do this? And it's the same reason why I got motions just before trial on witnesses too. It's because they can. They're allowed to file it, and they got a 50-50 shot of winning, right? Either the judge grants the motion and this is excluded, or the judge denies the motion and they get to call their witness. But at least let's take a shot. That's the type of lawyering that's going on right here. It's a very civil thing for him to do, and he's a civil lawyer. This happens all the time in civil cases, very rarely in criminal cases, at least from my experience.
Yeah, and the CV Commonwealth filed evidence way into trial. They filed evidence 2 weeks into trial.
Yeah, and with that video that we saw today, the one that happened to be flipped for some ungodly reason, that wasn't
Because-
presented until really like just before trial too, right?
Yeah,
No,
wasn't
this-
it a couple weeks ago? or something?
I
Or was during
believe
the trial.
if
Yeah,
you watched the faces on the defense team yesterday, it was presented yesterday because they haven't seen that video before. They got very agitated when they saw it.
They made quick work of it. That cross was great today.
Yeah, but did you notice that Bukaki, when he said the video of the Sally board, yes, it's mirrored, but it's absolutely the same as I saw, except it's mirrored.
I love the cross. The question that followed up was, well, I know if I look at myself in the mirror, that's not how I come across to other people because it's different, right? It's not the same. That, of course, was objected to because it was argumentative. But the point was made, and I think the jury got the point. The other thing too is, so I was watching it, and I'm trying to think in my head, and I'm remembering the video, the ring video, whatever, from the house, and then I'm trying to remember which tail light they're talking about, and it's all twisted up in my head, and I'm like, wait, which tail light am I looking at? Is it the one that's supposed to be broken? Is that on the other side? I don't know, because it's mirrored image, and now I know that it's mirrored image, I can't make sense of it in my head. That's why it's a problem. That's why it's different.
Well, that's why they should have said that
Bukaki.
when he presented the video.
Yeah, wasn't he
should have said-
specifically asked about that too on direct?
Not on direct.
He was
said
specifically
nothing
asked
on direct.
about if he saw anyone near the right tail light, and he said nope. Because again, when you see that video, you think, "Oh, this is a British car." The driver got out on the right side.
Yeah,
We
Because-
didn't think that. We thought two people were in the car because
Yeah,
it was so
but-
confusing.
But
yeah, that's what I thought. I didn't realize that it was a driver getting out until actually I saw someone had flipped it and then put a clip side by side, I think on TikTok, and then I realized like, oh, that makes so much more sense.
I'm
Yeah.
not 12 years old, so I'm not on TikTok.
I'm on TikTok.
Well, you gotta hand it to Agent Boo Cookie. He really took it on the chin.
That's good.
Thank you, Zach. No, but and again, another lawyer question. Shouldn't Lally, I know it wouldn't happen, but shouldn't he have some kind of sanctions against him because he misstated what his evidence showed?
Yeah, I mean, from an attorney standpoint, we're under these ethic rules, and you can't. There's a technical phrase, and I can't think of it right now. But you can't essentially foster wrong evidence, right? You have a duty of candor to the court, and so if you present something and you know that it's wrong, then you need to clarify it for the record. You have a duty of candor to the court. And so, yes, he could be sanctioned for that. He could be grieved for that through the Bar Association or whatever governing agency there is. And he could be sanctioned for that by the court. But we know the sanction's not coming from the court. But
Yeah.
It's definitely possible.
And
It should be followed up with.
Yeah, they should file. They on this basis alone. I know people said, well, they don't want to have a dismissed case. No, but they should file a motion to dismiss, and Bev should dismiss this with prejudice because he wasted 21 days.
It's so tedious. It's so tedious.
There's no evidence John O'Keefe was killed by a car so far. The only evidence we have is he
don't
died
think they're
from
gonna show it either.
hypothermia and a knock to the head.
Yeah. Okay. And well, you know what? Actually, what was interesting was it today? Was it this guy about when you first made the report to the hospital? You said that you thought that he would have been beaten.
Yeah.
Was that this guy?
Yeah.
Or was this
It was this guy.
Yeah.
It was this guy.
So there's a lot of their own conflicting reports, and whether you think Karen is innocent or you hate Turtle Boy, you have to agree. And if you don't, you're just lying to yourself that this was a shoddy investigation.
Yeah.
At the very least.
At the very least.
Yeah.
This was a shoddy investigation.
Do you have an evidence report. No, evidence log. No, we put it in the report. When did you write the report? 18 months later,
Mhm.
where everything
don't-
is really fresh in your mind.
So you don't have a log? Yes, we do. Oh, where is it? It's in the report. That's not a log, sir. You
No.
know, you don't have a real-time log. I love how there was multiple things labeled as being in a bag and ended up being in different bags. It's just all kinds of a disaster.
Well, I loved that the bag that had his name on it, that he was the one. And then he's like, I didn't write that. Like, okay. Well,
Yeah,
that's
his
fun.
name was on evidence bags, and he didn't sign
Yeah.
it. He didn't
And he
put
says,
that
I
name
didn't
on
put
it.
that on there. Yeah.
That was most
And
likely
then-
Proctor.
And he was trying to say, well, do you know Proctor's handwriting? And he wouldn't attest to that. So I was just like, well, I
So
don't know
who
his
told
handwriting.
him he was beaten? Did he say who? Nope. They just said that he called the medical examiner and said he was hit in the head with a cocktail glass.
Yeah, he
Because
said
that
it
was
was
their
a
first
domestic.
story.
Hey, expert. I see you in the chat. By the way, I got to show you this. This is one of the coolest Legos that I have bought. It's Indiana Jones. It's the
I have the semi-big one, and he bought the big one.
yeah, this thing
I
was
see how
this
it
thing
is.
is huge, but I'm really excited to build it. I just wanted to show it off to the expert.
Jamie Steps saying good night to you and your dogs before your bedtime in 5 minutes. Stop snoring.
Oh, Zach.
I didn't like how Lurch stated that. Very misleading.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, so there was a ton of objections we heard today, right? Most of those objections were properly sustained because they were argumentative.
Yeah.
But you ask them because you put the thought out there in the jury's mind. And just the same thing with the mirror and everything like that. And I can't remember the other specifics, but you do that even though you know you're going to get objected to and you know it's going to be sustained because it's the toothpaste is out of the tube. That was said in front of the jury, and the jury's going to be thinking the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and Alan
Mhm.
Jackson does that a lot. And
I love it.
and I like
It's so
he's been better at playing Bev, so he let them slip in, and he just talks over her when she sustains to get the full thought into the head of the jury.
There's
Mhm.
a at one point he claps back at the witness, and the judge said, "We've had this. No remarks from you or comments
Yeah.
from you, sir. We've had this conversation before." He was like, "I apologize, judge." So he knows where her line is. He knows what he can get away with, and it's great.
I really love him.
Yeah,
He's,
but
he's
the
so
first
quick.
But the first week he went too far, and she got really upset with him. And I think Janetti told him, "Hey, you have to turn down California a little bit."
I heard that from Grant.
Oh.
He was gloating about it on X.
Oh, doink.
He was
Yeah,
so
and
fun to watch. I'm disappointed he's not in the courtroom anymore because he was so fun to watch his tweets and to just clap back at him. It was a good time.
Well, you can watch his tweet where he talked about he peed his bed last night. And Steve Fenner think Bukaki might have witnessed against him.
What?
He did what?
He peed his bed because he had a Red Bull after 6 p.m. and then he had a relaxing dream, and then he woke up to the screams. So I'm thinking, who was he in bed with when he peed?
He told everybody that on Twitter.
Let's get back to this motion.
God.
The defendant also identified 3 experts from ARCA: Daniel Wolf, PhD, Andrew Renscher, PhD, and Scott Klein, BSME. That sounds like something dirty. As expert witnesses in accident reconstruction, the defendant indicated that each expert will testify consistent with report in possession of the Commonwealth. Pursuant
Yeah.
to Mass R. Crim P14, the Commonwealth again moves for the defendant to produce all written reports and opinions that pertains to the case and the identity of anything upon which the expert based his opinion. The Commonwealth also moved for the defendant to specify what each of the 3 experts did, what their independent opinion is, and what each expert would testify to. Furthermore, a voir dire is necessary to determine whether each of these 4 proposed experts are qualified to render an opinion about crash reconstructions. Whereas all 4 proposed experts are biomechanical engineers and not crash reconstructionists. and all of them works for a company specializing in crash reconstruction who works for the feds, and all of them have testified as experts before, but that's not good enough for Monsieur Lally.
I have to imagine
This is
so
ignorant.
generally when there's a late disclosure of a witness, generally the court will conduct a test. There's like these elements that you have to go through and analyze, and some of them are like, was it done intentionally? Was it done? Is there a history of this? Is there some sort of unfair prejudice to the other side? Is there some sort of unfair prejudice to the party calling the witness if we were to deny the witness? There's this test thing that you would go through before the court would say, no, you're not allowed to call this witness. And I have to imagine when you go through this like 6-7 point test, I don't know what Massachusetts has, but something similar, I guarantee it. It's going to favor calling this witness, the defense being allowed to call this witness. Again, they're bringing this motion just because they can. And if they win, great. And if they don't, all right, well, they got another witness that they have to address,
Yeah, but again, also this about the reports. We saw that that Dr. Death in the girl who, what was the case? The one who was driven around by his her son.
Grant?
No,
What?
not that one. Well, the son smoked weed as well. That lady who testified that she never had a victim she talked to where she didn't find latent spousal abuse. She never filed a report.
She didn't file a report. That was in Letitia Stout case. That was the expert in Letitia Stout.
Yeah. She never filed a report, so you can testify.
Dorothy?
Yeah,
Dorothy.
Dorothy Lewis or something.
Dorothy something, yeah.
Yeah. She never filed a report because I don't know. It's back at the hotel. I can get it. I don't know when I can be back because I might crumble to dust before I get here.
She was always late. She was like a half a day late one time. She was insane, and she was allowed to testify. I think you were right. She was a last minute disclosure too, because they really didn't have a witness in that case or an expert in that case.
Well, these people are from the federal investigation, right?
No, they're not. They are from ACA, a company that specializes in doing crash reconstruction. Yes, they work for the federal investigation that has been, but we can't mention the federal investigation.
Yeah, but
it's like the Spanish Inquisition.
That's where they came from.
That's a Monty Python joke. Jamie is too young to understand that. Christine, it's on the Discord. Yeah, never went on time and had to be placed outside the jury box because she couldn't walk up there. Hey, Josie.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, they were hired by the feds, but then they are now hired by the defense because the feds haven't got an investigation going.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like they were hired by the feds. Feds did it. They got all the information, and then the defense decided, well, heck, we're going to have him come testify for us. So Lally has all the information. This isn't news to him.
That's the other thing too. Was it, even though it wasn't formally disclosed, that's one of the other things. Even though it wasn't formally disclosed, did the other side have reason to believe that this could be a potential witness and things like that? So that's going to be another assessment. And of course, the defense will prevail on that very argument because, of course, he knew the feds are the ones that hired this guy or gal or whoever it is. So, yeah. So, like, as I'm ticking through these things that I don't know actually exist in Massachusetts, but there's got to be some sort of test like that. I feel like the defense is going to win. And it's just, it's one of those bullshit motions. You're like, well, I might win. Why not?
Question for Dave. Why don't Bev allow them to refer to the federal grand jury by name, just another grand jury? I don't think they even can call it a grand jury. You will question in another proceeding, I think is what they're actually saying.
I don't understand the question. What was that?
They are not allowed to talk about the federal grand jury.
Because it would have no bearing on this. It would be completely irrelevant. It would be like if someone was charged with a completely separate crime, you don't want to convict somebody or whatever based on their actions in a completely separate case. And since it's federal, it is technically a completely separate case. So that would be why. It's irrelevant to the facts that they're trying to prove here, even though the facts are essentially the same.
Yeah, that's what it made sense to me.
Yeah, and Murdoch had that guy who tested the phone without ever making a report and didn't have any scientific method. He just tossed the phone around in an office for a weekend. And he wasn't even an expert.
Well, he was just a cop, wasn't he? Just like a cop that worked in the office.
Yeah, but he went home and became an expert by flinging a phone in the air. And Leafgut, I love that you know
Baker, it's called the scientific method. I mean, come on.
Isn't it something about the scientific method that you have to be able to reproduce it from the notes that previous experiments made? We had a brain surgeon,
He's doing it Mythbuster style, you know. It is.
Yeah. No, but we had a woman. She got really famous for some studies she did on the brain on rats, and got all the notification and a woman in STEM and all of that. Then they started looking at her research, and no one could really reproduce any of it. So she lost her scholarship and everything. Don't talk much about her anymore. Did anyone notice that after Proctor hovered around the tail light in the Sally port, all of the pieces found were on top of the grass and snow and appeared to be very dry?
No, because the snow melted away.
Yeah, that's yeah. Don't think about it. It makes a lot of sense if you don't think about it.
I love the idea of them not securing the crime scene and just driving by every once in a while. Be like, oh,
I know.
something new.
That's what he said.
Like a jealous stalker driving by their ex's house. Like, oh, what's going on here today?
He just thought, you know, I have a feeling there's going to be some evidence, so I'm going to go drive by there and see.
Yeah. And Sue, yeah, it would be very relevant to you because you know that the lead prosecutor was under investigation by the feds. But unless he is found guilty in doing something wrong, we have to offer him the same innocence that we offer Karen Reed. Him being under investigation proves nothing.
Baker, bring in the reasonable doubt.
Yeah, Dave said it too, and it makes sense because it isn't relevant to what Karen Reed did. You know what they're charging Karen Reed for.
Well, there was 5 drops of water on one of them.
Wait, can we bring the focus back to me real quick? Do you notice I'm in the treehouse again?
Yes.
Aren't you excited? It's very comfortable now, actually. So I redid the whole layout. I have this flip top table over here where I can build my Legos, and everything's up against the wall. And there's plenty of room back here. I'm like really far away from the back wall, so Nick and I can fit in here because the Nick Staroff is coming in August, so we're going to stream a little bit from here.
I like that he says, "You're going to take the focus on me, everybody."
Oh, I'm proud of it. I did a lot of work here. Look, I got the expert signed autograph picture right here. You know,
where?
It's right over my head here. Look, right there. See the expert signed an autograph for me. Wait, right there. I'm pointing. He signed an autograph, a picture from me. Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay. Got it.
I need to bring it more prominent in the background so you guys can see it all.
And Gunnar says, need handwriting expert. No, because as long as it's not Bukakni, it doesn't matter who wrote it. It's, again, tainted evidence because...
He said it wasn't him.
It wasn't him, so someone else. And Raymail says, why didn't they show the exit angle when the vehicle was pulled into the Sally port? They showed that angle when the vehicle pulled out.
Not when it pulled in, so you couldn't see the tail light as it was entering the Sally port. Only after it left the Sally port.
Yeah, after they testified that they removed the tail light, then they could show that the tail light was removed. Again, Raymail, don't think about it. Then it makes sense. No. And why was that? Why was that camera? Because the IT guy said we have the same cameras the only difference is if it's an indoor or an outdoor model. Why is one of them black and the other one is showing everything clearly? Of course, they didn't choose that angle because then you would see the state of the car. Maybe that's the 90 minutes we're missing from the video.
Is it 90 minutes? I thought it was like 5
45. That was like 40.
40 minutes is missing from the Sallyport video?
Yeah.
That's what they
I
said.
thought it was 40. Wow.
No, it was like 40.
No, you're thinking about what came out doing this. The skips in this 5-minute videos are 9 minutes long, if you follow the timestamp. So there's more missing in between the clips than
there actually is a video. Wow.
There's 9 minutes missing.
How would they be allowed to admit that? Like under the rules of evidence, under foundation, right? I mean, I guess if they're going to testify like, hey, this is just the way it was produced, this is all we have, I guess. But I mean, it'd probably just then go to the weight, I guess. But it's still bad.
Yeah. And again, why was there a big square of snow on the floor and then they cleaned the floor after they pulled the car in? It's almost like the car had been there before because, as Steven says, there was a lot of snow on it on the outside, not inside.
Yeah.
Okay, back to this. On May 21st, the defendant provided the Commonwealth with the curriculum vitae of Dr. Marie Russell, an expert witness not previously disclosed. On May 30th, during the 6th week of trial, and Attorney Little provided the following synopsis about Dr. Russell. She has reviewed the autopsy photos, grand jury testimony of Dr. Scotty Bellow, the entirety of the autopsy report, all reports associated with Chloe's prior bite history, photographs of the items in evidence, and the UC Davis DNA testing results and evidence submissions forms. She is expected to be called with focused testimony related to the right arm injuries sustained by Mr. O'Keefe. Dr. Russell will testify that the wounds and injuries on Mr. O'Keefe's right arm are consistent with an animal attack, namely teeth or claw marks, as I said, or a combination of both from an animal. She will also testify that these injuries are inconsistent with having been struck by a vehicle, road rash, or scratches from broken glass or tail light material. She will base her opinions and conclusions in part on having treated hundreds of patients in the ER with injuries sustained from animal attacks, including dogs. No written reports or opinions from Dr. Russell are provided. A criminal defendant's constitutional right to call a witness on her behalf is not absolute and may be limited in the judge's discretion in the face of legitimate demands of the adversarial system. Citations and internal quotations omitted. Why didn't you quote the part of the ruling that you find?
Okay, so I know this isn't relevant probably exactly to Massachusetts, but one of the other factors too is like a time to cure. So this was disclosed on May 21st. It is now June 6th, which means they've had, I'm going to do lawyer math, 2 weeks, more than 2 weeks to prepare. And it's still not even the state or the defense's turn to go. So presumably they're going to have another week or so in order to prepare to cross-examine this witness. So they get 3 weeks. Let's assume 3 weeks, right, to be safe. In order to prepare for this, that's plenty of time. The factors in total are whether the violation was willful or accidental, the party's history of refusing to comply with discovery, prejudice to the opposing party, actual notice to the opposing party. That's what I was talking about. Like, even if it wasn't an official one, did you have notice of it? The length of time prior to trial that the plaintiff or the prosecution received such notice, whether there exists a history of the defendant engaging in deliberate delays, a degree. In fact, there's the opposite. The degree of compliance by the parties with provisions of the court orders, an attempt for the party to timely cure the defect, and whether a lesser sanction would better serve the interests of justice. So those are more or less, they're kind of standard. It's probably not worded the exact same way as Michigan, but those are the standards that the Commonwealth is going to have to meet in order to get this granted. Oh,
Yeah, and
there
we
it is.
talked.
It's right there. Oh, see, look at that.
Yeah, and we talked about this in the pre-trial motion, where I said they still haven't turned over, and you said, well, you have this indiscriminate, you have this undisclosed time, so which normally would be set for 14 days before a trial starts, that you have to turn over the evidence. But the defense filed Monday that they got Verizon records because they got the wrong Verizon records when the state filed for them. And the state have put in evidence during the trial as well. So again, Lally is doing that thing where he want to whistle but have his mouth full with flour. You can't do that.
Okay, that's a different way of saying he wants to eat a cake and have it too.
Well, that's because I say the Danish thing.
I know. I was like, wait, what did he say?
I don't,
Whistle with a mouthful of flour. Okay.
I don't joke about cakes.
It's an interesting motion, but again, it's just tactics. It's just this is what lawyers do.
Yeah.
Well, he's already presented this before, and
Yeah.
what did she say? We'll like go over it
We
when it
can
gets
go
closer
over
to
it when we
whatever.
get closer to it, I think was what she said.
Yeah.
So that we can
Jim Cox, Lally wants to exclude the dog bite expert, the 4 crash experts who has to testify about the car crash. Well, the 3 crash expert and the 1 black box expert. And no, it's not technically a black box, the EDR on the car. What is that yellow thing above Michigan in MLS's treehouse?
It's the Upper Peninsula. That's the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Michigan is 2 peninsulas. This is the upper, and then this is the lower, right here.
So you have a mitten and a sharkfish.
It's like a bird. I don't know. It's the Upper Peninsula. That's the UP. That's the Upers. And I'm a troll because I live below the bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're a different breed up there.
They are. I would say they're more Michigan than we are, but
yeah.
Upers and trolls. Yeah, crazy old fart got it.
Yeah, we say that in Denmark. You can't whistle with your mouth full of flour.
That's so weird. Oh, by the way, happy Swedish Day. Great.
Dave loves it.
I noticed you didn't read the chat when I threw it in there earlier.
Yeah, no, I said no. I won't talk about that. Not only did they get the wrong ones, when the court clerk received the wrong ones, Jimba, held onto them for about a month before giving it to the defense. Miss Little pointed out pre-trial hearing. Yes, and that's when he got really you could hear him getting agitated when we never received that, but the court did. Is that true, Jimba? He got really weird. What the good people of Canton, Massachusetts see is their police department operations and how they conduct themselves during an investigation. Throw away phones, break rules, investigate themselves weak. Yeah. Well, it's a saying in Denmark. You can't whistle with a mouthful of flour. It's just like you can't eat and have your cake too. Which you can because you'll eat your cake so you have it. I am from Denmark. Your husband that gets cliff note from me on this trial saw the sweatshirt. He said that's dog claws holes. I'm telling you, if you had shepherds, you know. The Lower Peninsula looks just like Chloe begging for a bone.
Oh my God.
This sanction may not be imposed without a judge balancing the Commonwealth's interest in enforcing their procedural rules against the defendant's constitutional rights to present evidence on her behalf. Citation emitted.
I feel like it'd be fairly prejudicial to not allow the witness.
Yeah. Factors in asserting such a balance include prevention of surprise, evidence of bad faith, prejudice to the Commonwealth, the effectiveness of less severe sanctions, and the materiality of the testimony to the outcome of the case. I think this is very, very, very important for the outcome of the case. If they can say he was never hit by a car.
Yeah,
this a
the
dog bite.
injuries are consistent with a dog bite is a little different than hit by a car, right? Because to my understanding,
Yeah.
now I might be wrong. Are they alleging that that Karen had a dog running wild with her when she dropped John off?
What are they really alleging though, Baker? Because like
They're
at
alleging,
first we think it's
she was
glass, right?
with her.
Well, no. Our first thing was they kept talking about this glass, and somehow it broke. And
Do you want the four?
Then he got
different-
dragged. We heard that.
No.
Go ahead.
Do you want it from the beginning or since the trial started?
Well, how did he get the cuts on his arm? What have they been saying?
They never said why, but they say you see him on the outdoor video from the waterfall leaving the bar with a cocktail glass in his hand, that hand where you will later see abrasions to his arm. Why are you talking about a glass? So he was beaten on the arm with a glass that made abrasions.
Okay.
Because Bukaki said that's the blunt force abrasions because he has a medical degree.
He does.
No, he doesn't.
Dr. Bukaki.
I was trying to get my wife on camera, but she's being stubborn. I wanted her to say "Happy Swedish Day" to you in Danish or whatever she speaks.
Or whatever she speaks. Jesus Christ.
Well, I didn't know if you were trying to say it in Danish or Swedish.
I just sent a
Okay.
link to the wrong person. I was trying to send it to.
Daxo Boko Kako? What? What am I trying to say?
Det är dags att baka kakor.
I don't know if you heard that.
Or something about tacos.
Tacos?
No, kakor. Kage.
Torta.
She doesn't want to get on camera.
Is she saying torta?
Time to make cookies.
All right, I gotta go make
Oh.
cookies.
Tid til at lave torta.
Yeah.
What?
Do you know what that means?
Yeah, torta. That's a pie.
Oh, okay.
If she said torta, that's a pie.
I see. I got to go bake a pie apparently.
No. Kage. No, nej, inte kage. Kakor.
Kako.
Yeah,
He
kako.
says it's pie.
No.
No. I thought she said tort. That
Oh.
she said tort.
I can't remember what it's called in Danish. Anyway.
It's called småkager.
Smokea? Did I say that right?
Oh, smell kakor. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. All right.
Oh my God. That's like so funny.
I gotta go bake smokako.
Yes.
All that good stuff. All right, guys.
Okay.
Sorry to derail entirely the stream. All right.
Bye, David.
Bye, guys.
And one jury matters. Yes, they keep claiming it's abrasions to his arm, even though they had an EMT calling it scratches. Don't think
Okay,
about it.
so well, no, keep going though. Remember, it smashed a glass on his arm. Now
No.
what?
No. He was beaten on the arm.
Okay, he's
So
beating on
he
the
had-
arm with the glass.
Blunt force abrasions. Then
Oh.
she hit him. Well, we don't know if they were beaten, but he had that glass in that hand that he later had abrasions on. Then he was fell backwards and hit his head, which is inconsistent with what Bukaki rang the medical examiner because they said it's been a domestic. He's been beaten in the face with a cocktail glass.
Mhm.
And then you had the third guy who testified that Lally told him he was ran over and dragged by a car. And then
So then you got him.
I don't
from
know what
road crash.
Bukaki's statement is now because I don't know. Yeah, and you had the guy saying there were furrows on his arm. That's not blunt force abrasions.
But every time they try to they try to corner a Lally with like what they think he's saying. I didn't say that.
Yeah. And Doink is saying Jackson needs to start relating to the New England jury. Mm-hmm. I like Dunk.
Ugh.
Imagine living in a world where you think this makes sense. It's amazing to me.
He's pretty delusional.
Yep. What the hell can I find? Why the hell can I find that picture now? I saw this picture earlier today, and C-Sweb sent it to me, and I don't know if it makes sense to you. You have his left shoe has a white button. Then you have a left shoe with a black button up next to the curb. And then you have a right shoe with a white button presented in court.
Yeah, this shoe business is
Jamie,
something.
I know it's late. Pay attention. You have a left shoe with a white button, a left shoe with a black button, and a right shoe presented in court. What did they present this right shoe as?
The shoe that was on the side of the road.
Which is a
Left shoe.
with.
Well, it looks like it's got a black bottom.
It looks like it got a black button. So not only does it have a different sole, it's also the wrong side. I don't know.
I don't know either.
It's just one of those things that
At this point, I'm not surprised.
Where the hell is?
Yeah.
I don't know why. If C-Sweb deleted her account, but I can't see her on X right now. She's been helping so much. I would say Jackson should drop the yawl a bit. I don't know if it's the way he speaks. You're new to Twitter, never realized how many stupid people live in this world. My friend always say this when I get angry. Think about the average intelligent person you know, and remember 50% of the people is stupider than that one. Yeah, I can't find C-Sweb on X right now. I don't know if she's deleted her account or changed her name or something. I lost a lot of good pictures. No, not those kinds. It was the nudes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shoe they showed looked new. And that's why we were talking about it. That looked way too clean for a shoe been laying in snow for 10 hours. And then you see this. It's super weird. But how did the shoe go from a lefty to a righty? I don't know.
I don't know either. The internet's
Yeah, don't
crazy.
believe. Yeah, but again, this is the big problem for the state. Good night, Tim. Have a great night. This is the problem for the state. They give the defense time to go home and prepare, and just go on X right now and see how many people are sitting there finding all of these things. Yeah, and why do they only have the one shoe? Because if it's the left shoe that he had on at the hospital, why did Lally then present it as being the right shoe found at the crime scene? Because he clearly stated this was the shoe found on the crime. I've been asked this a couple of times. It hasn't been presented. That's all I can say. But I know he had his socks on. The picture we see from the hospital, where they take the picture of the pile of clothes on the floor, you can see he has, I don't know, do you call them socklets? The small socks,
Well,
the low
just like
shafted ones.
the lotion. I don't know. I just call them socks.
Yeah,
Or
well,
like ankle socks
yeah,
or something.
he has those on. I think it's Nike or some brand. Picture is in Discord. Maria is late. Oh, you're only an hour late.
Hi, Maria.
Yeah, we're living in the upside down. No, we're living in the mirror world, bizarro world. No show socks, exactly. Don't say low shaft. I can't say moisture clock, and I can't say low shaft.
Stop saying what's no.
The Commonwealth moves to exclude Dr. Russell's testimony as the Commonwealth is prejudiced by the extremely late notice of Dr. Russell. No, you're not prejudiced by that. The Commonwealth has called over 50 witnesses thus far, and a request for a continuance 7 weeks into trial is impractical. Yeah, don't ask for a continuance then. In addition, Jeopardy has attached. What does that mean in English?
What is, I mean, that legal term, I don't really know, to be honest with you. Of course, Dave had to leave.
Yeah, but this sentence isn't complete. In addition, Jeopardy has attached to what?
To
This
this.
is
To everything they talked about.
how?
I don't know. Why are you yelling at me? I don't know.
Well, I need to yell at you because everyone else has left. I'm getting confused. Oh, new photos. The Commonwealth is furthermore prejudiced by the defendant's decision to elicit this testimony and the surprise it has caused. During a final pre-trial hearing on February 15, when asked by the court whether there was any dispute about a canine's involvement or canine DNA, Attorney Ioannidis indicated nope. They were asked about the canine DNA. They didn't talk about a canine being involved. They just said there are no dispute that there's no dog DNA found on John O'Keefe. So again, a misstatement of Ioannidis' statements, and that the defense was not pursuing such claim. He didn't say that. Only talked about dog DNA. It was not until April 29th, during opening statements, where, contrary to the court's prior ruling that third-party culprit evidence was not admissible or appropriate for opening statements, Attorney Ioannidis unfairly prejudiced the Commonwealth by arguing Karen Reed was framed. Her car never struck John O'Keefe. She did not cause his death, and that means somebody else did it. I don't believe he said that last sentence. Do you remember that, Jamie?
Yeah.
Did he say that?
Yeah.
Hey, Pixie, missed you as well.
Hey, Pixie.
How can you get a Discord invite? If you're a member, go into the members tab or reach out to one of the mods. They'll help you. No more court until Monday, 8:30. They will have a pre-trial hearing. Seaswift just posted pic in Discord for you. Yeah, but I can't see her on X, and I've been talking to her a lot there. Lally knew they were. That's why he brought the DNA lady in, so he has known. Oh, they knew that you would go about the dog DNA. Oh, yeah. That could
I
be.
don't believe that he didn't know about this at all.
No. Let's yeah, what sorry. And he knew about it. And again, they weren't disputing the dog DNA wasn't found because there was no dog DNA found.
They also didn't test for it like on the arm.
No, but they weren't disputing there wasn't any canine DNA, but they never said they weren't disputing a dog was involved.
Yeah.
And he brought up Chloe so they can bring in an expert talking about a dog.
They have been saying since the beginning that those marks on his arm are from a dog.
Yeah.
So you cannot tell me that they told you they weren't going to talk about it. Yeah, right, guy.
The pigs did it exactly. There were no human DNA near the tail light either, right? There was no biological material found other than that little hair that could. It clung on harder than any of Lally's hairs. And then surprisingly proceeded to claim that the defendant's injury was consistent with a dog attack.
They've
Did you
been
say
saying that since the beginning.
Yeah,
Why are you acting surprised?
exactly. In light of this, on May 15th, the Commonwealth called Teddy Kuhn, a forensic scientist, to testify that there was no canine DNA present on the samples provided to her veterinary forensic laboratory. Ms. Kuhn did not render an opinion about the cause or appearance of John O'Keefe's injuries, nor offered any testimony about whether John O'Keefe's injuries was consistent or inconsistent with an animal attack. No,
Listen,
and that's why they want to have an expert.
How'd they swab? How'd they swab for the DNA and send it in?
And why is
Like, come on.
Lally? Did Lally write this drunk?
Yeah, I'm sure he
And
did.
then surprisingly proceeded to claim that the defendants
What?
sometimes you should listen to the show. It's good sometimes.
I'm
And then
listening. You just stopped talking.
and then surprisingly proceeded to claim that the defendants.
Oh, okay.
Who has the injuries?
The
What
victim.
injuries on Karen Reed is caused by anything? So he messed up and put the defendant in instead of this decedent.
Yeah,
You're such a good lawyer. The Commonwealth is unduly prejudiced by the defendant's intentionally delays in providing appropriate discovery and notice to the Commonwealth. C. Reynolds v. Bath Fate, when failure to provide discovery is deliberate and willfully motivated by desire to obtain a tactical advantage that would minimize the effectiveness of cross-examination and ability to adduce rebuttal evidence.
Sir.
Due to personal reasons of Ms. Kuhn, an out-of-state witness, she was unavailable after May 16, 2024.
So he can't bring her back? Is that what he's complaining about?
Yeah, she can't come back to rebuttal.
But who was she? She was just the veterinarian lady, right?
Yeah.
The test. What is she gonna say?
She said, yeah, I tested the dog DNA. It wasn't there. I found pig DNA. Do you have an opinion of whether this is caused by animal attacks? No.
Well, she also just got the swabs from the idiots that swabbed over there. Those just the holes in the shirt. That's what they did, right?
Yeah, I think so. I no, I didn't see that testimony because that was while I was away.
No, yeah, well, it was just 2 swabs from the shirt, and we know how that shirt was handled, so how can you trust any of that?
Yes, it's a Lally tantrum. What is there to rebuke in a DNA test? She doesn't do dog bites. Yes, again,
Exactly.
and the defense never claimed that there was DNA on John O'Keefe because they knew the results came back. That's not why they're going to bring in Marie Russell. They're going to bring her in not to testify that there was dog DNA on the deceased. Now I've got the defendant in my head. They're
Mm.
going to testify that those injuries to his arm is consistent with her wealth of experience as a doctor who has treated thousands of dog bites and animal attacks, consistent with animal attacks. That's not what Lally is arguing why she shouldn't be allowed to come in here. They are arguing because there was no dog DNA, you can't have a dog bite expert.
Yeah. That's the stupidest thing.
Yeah, but again, she's not going to testify to that because if she is asked, what, if any, opinion do you have about this being dog attacks? She will say, I'm the lab lady. I just got some swabs, tested it, found pig DNA. I don't know from where. Ask someone who knows something about injuries. Maybe a doctor. Hopefully.
Mhm.
And no, they didn't swap the skin, as Anthony said.
No, it
A
wasn't
real
the skin.
investigation would have taken relevant samples from the body as well as different parts of clothing. We would see the clothing laid out with markers. This investigation is a joke. Yeah, why didn't they swap his skin? They only swapped the shirt.
Yeah, and she told us that she mixed, or when the lady was swabbing the,
Yeah, she just took all the sleeves. She didn't take
yeah,
specific samples.
so they were all convoluted.
Yeah, all these guys are the ones who get killed by that dinosaur, Netley or whatever his name is. Are you missing something? Did the wreck happen in the yard where all the tail light was found? No, Gene Mayberry. You missed absolutely nothing. What? Oh, can I draw on this? No, I can't. No, it doesn't fit to this. Oh, that's so annoying. What you didn't miss is, let's get back to my trusty whiteboard. I'll just blow myself up so we can see this better. What you didn't miss is the first time they find evidence, it's within a foot near the curb, on the road and on the lawn. This is the first search that they do in the afternoon, 5:30 in the afternoon, where they claimed they made a grid search all the way from up here and to here. Then you had the magical 6 other visits where 3, you had Bukaknik, Proctor, and that Ciccone or whatever his name is. They just showed up one day. And then in a 30 square feet area, they found a shoe, a hat, more tail light. And then you had 6 or 7 times where people were just randomly passing by and found tail light pieces on the lawn. No one ever stated she was on the lawn. No one ever took a photo so we know where on the lawn that was photographed. All we know is this first search, which the search guy said, they took the entire lawn and shoveled it, shifted it. They found diddly squat. But when these 3 starts, Bukaki, Proctor, and I think his name is Ciccone or something, They found all the evidence within a 30 square foot area. They found all the evidence we were presented with today. The search team should really sue them for slander, because they can't be that bad at their job. It is very late in Daneland, because it's almost 4 o'clock. But my neighbor woke me up at 1:30, and I got angry. Yeah, I just got the baker board out. I needed that. It's dumbfounding, Squad Bob. Why risk your career? Just walk away from it early on. He might not be a great lawyer, but he could easily make a lot of money in the private sector. Nope, this guy couldn't make a dime in the private sector. He has a cushy job. We looked it up. He earns roughly 140K a year. Yeah, and they blew the lawn. So they should see all the big piece of plastic. If they couldn't see that, all of them should go to an optometrist. Who else wonders on half of the people in Massachusetts jails are innocent? How many of these cases, again, they're going to bring in a Cellbrite guy that they claim will testify that Cellbrite doesn't work? Every defense lawyer in Massachusetts are hoping for that, because that's Appeal City. Yeah, 4 a.m. Well, I don't have work tomorrow. Jamie had let me have a day off. And they found those 3 pieces that had no match to nothing, the takeout lid and a straw. That stupid straw in the road. I got so mad when I saw it. What the F are you thinking? A straw staying in that position for 6 days after it rained? Yeah, the leaf blowers. 30 square feet is small. Daniel T knows math. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out, because I need to visualize it, and I don't do feet. So I want to figure out, is it the size of a queen size bed, a king size bed, a single bed? How big was the area where they found all of this evidence no one else found? Yeah, but I couldn't build a Lego version, and I don't have enough free bricks so I could build a crime scene. You really need to slow down your explanation so Lally can watch and take notes for next week. I probably should. I should be a consultant. Yeah, and all the snow underneath him, well, that's again, there's different pictures and different description. It's exactly. The more you sift snow, the less likely you are to find pieces this size. It's more than 5 by 5 and it's less than 6 by 6. Yes, but I don't know how much 5 feet are. So BPC drives by and see those small pieces of glass from the road. No, Major Mom. BPC says, "Hey, buddies, what you doing today?" Not really anything. I was thinking about taking a day off. I might go fishing. Do you want to go back to the crime scene and just look for random evidence? Yeah, why not? And then they magically bring shovels and rakes. Don't call in the crime scene experts to go through the crime scene. No. These 3 master detectives just go at it with the shovels and rakes, and they find all the evidence. And then after that, because Bukaknik had a feeling that more evidence would magically appear, he told BPD officers who are conflicted out of the case because Kevin Albert works for them, that they should go by randomly and just look in the yard if they saw more evidence. And when he was asked, but they were conflicted out, yeah, well, I just thought that had to do with interrogations. Yeah, because that's how conflicted out works. 2.78 square meters. That's not a lot. That's really not that much. Yeah, that's smaller than a queen size bed then. It's smaller than a queen size bed, the area they found all this evidence in. But they found it by the electrical cabinet, they found it by the fire hydrant, they found it out on the road, and they found it up near the bush. Hui.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I threw it on because I sleep in my Adam costume, and this was the first thing I jumped in.
My Adam costume.
Did the Celtics win?
Mm-hmm.
30 inches, 1 yard, or 3 feet. 39.37 inches, 1 meter. This is so... I get the conversion of pounds, but because that's 2.2 pounds to a kilo. But the rest, I don't know why I'm good with pounds and kilos. Don't think about it. Halftime. Okay, thank you. But did Karen drive in grass near where the body was found? No. According to Lally, she was on the road. According to everyone. No one saw her driving on. There's no tire tracks on anything. That's another thing that makes all of this evidence strewn all over the lawn absolutely stupid. Because why did all the evidence explode? It's a big one. We're getting a two-border. If we see it top down, you have the road here with the car on it. And then you have O'Keefe allegedly being hit. O'Keefe does what physics says you can't do. He flies 5 to 20 feet onto the lawn. But the car is traveling in that direction. Even my poor physics understanding would be, then he would have to be hit on the side and spin. He wouldn't fly 5 to 20 feet onto a lawn. If he was going flying, he was going flying in the same direction as the car. And what did his head hit? On the frozen ground that wasn't frozen because it hadn't been that cold.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Jamie, I get so mad. You
I
get my blood
know.
pressure up. I said I'm going to get an aneurysm today.
Don't do it.
To be fair, a plow could have plowed it off the road, but then they would have found it close to the curb. Yeah, and they found it like this far from the curb. After the snow had melted. Probably, I don't know how you do it in Massachusetts. In Denmark, after the plows, they sent the salt trucks to liquefy the snow and ice.
Hmm.
We could have known more about the snow. Yeah, a tail light made all that blood. No. Because it's not a cut it's not cut because he's never hit in the head. It's the bump on the ground that opens up his head.
Yeah.
Hey, Lily. Yeah, we up late.
I do know.
His theory is she bumps him, he falls backwards and fractures his skull.
And her taillight explodes from the.
Yeah, her tail light explodes, but doesn't touch his head. They never claimed it. He was hit in the head. I think the problem is physics doesn't work in Canton. I am up way too early because I only got 90 minutes of sleep, but now I'm trying to get it, keep it going till 5 o'clock. Then I can hit the gym and then I could go back and sleep. Furthermore, the proposed testimony of Dr. Russell may necessitate a Daubert-Lenigan hearing where the defendant bears the burden of establishing that the proposed testimony would assist the tier of fact and that the methodology underlying the expert's testimony is sufficiently reliable. They should get that in. She has published works in this. The trial judge must also determine whether the witness has sufficient knowledge of the facts and expertise to render an opinion. Of note, Dr. Russell's expertise is with treating patient and this was the part that got me angry, Jamie.
Hmm.
Oh, and I got a real dry throat. Dr. Russell's expertise is with treating patients in an emergency room and how injuries may appear on living individuals rather than how injuries are depicted on a deceased male and in a post-mortem photograph.
Oh my God, shut up.
No, today is cardio day. So because it's a dead body, the scarring is different.
Hmm.
This is the stupidest argument I've heard
He
ever.
wasn't dead that long.
It
This
doesn't
is
matter.
not like
It's not
no,
like
but you know what I'm saying? Like this isn't
Yeah.
like you dug him up and then you know, come on.
It's absolutely stupid. As for the expert disclosed on April 15, the Commonwealth again moves an order that the defendant produce the appropriate proffer's opinion, evidence, and expert reports forthwith so that the Commonwealth can adequately prepare for cross-examination. As to Dr. Russell, the Commonwealth moved for an order to exclude her testimony entirely, as there is no less severe sanction to ameliorate the surprise bad faith and outrageously delayed disclosure. The Commonwealth bears the burden of proof and production at trial and cannot try the case while simultaneously working to understand and refute testimony from experts whose reports and opinions it does not have, without which the Commonwealth is prejudiced and unable to effectively prepare for cross-examination of these witnesses. Should the defendant again fail to produce the appropriate opinion evidence, the Commonwealth may move to exclude those experts as well.
I can't wait to hear the argument.
I'm not sure we're going to hear them.
You don't think so?
No. She's not gonna allow it to be heard.
Why?
Because it's Dr. Auntie Bev.
Oh, come on, Bev. Don't be a jerk.
It's liquid copper can lower your chlorine need by over 50%, no side effects. We had a big lake that had a big problem with algae in it. We threw a lot of copper in that because that should apparently do wonders for not the environment. Yes, for the environment in the lake. I'm just looking at if I wanted to show some pictures. I saw this picture here, and this, I want you to help me figure this one out. This one has a black soul. That could be the shadow, which I wouldn't understand how the shadow will be so dark if it's a white soul. Is it two different shoes? Oh, I didn't share it. I'll make it easier if I shared the stuff. And again, even if this has the white sole as the other one, this is still a left shoe. Why did they produce a right shoe? I don't get it.
So confused. Yeah.
Yeah. The more I look at pictures, the more I get confused. Because yeah, I can't tell you what's going on, Jamie. I can tell you that I don't trust one single piece of evidence presented in this case. Yeah, Bev should have excused herself.
Ever he's never clarifying anything. He just shows things and then moves on.
Yeah. And can I just share a couple of photos? And then he shares 5 photos and said, "Is this what you saw on the scene?" Yep. And then we just move on.
Yeah.
Uh,
Like, describe what it is.
Exactly. Can we see the shoes in his bar video? I think I have a picture where you just see well, you see them standing there. No, that was one of those who got deleted. I should have downloaded it. I don't have that picture, but you can see him in the bar video where he has. Oh, maybe I have that on. Didn't I have that on Twitter? I tweeted that out earlier. Yes, I found it. Sorry. This is a left shoe. This is a right shoe. This is a left shoe, which appears to have a dark sole. But they're showing a right shoe in the court. Why are they showing a right shoe in the court when it's a left shoe they find at the scene? Did get good and piffed up. I'm still here, Marissa. You should watch the show with Jamie. This will be his last. No. He will have a great career in the DA's office. They lose tons of cases.
I'm not gonna do anything to him.
His boss is supporting him all the way because his boss made him take this case. It looks in pretty good shape for a shoe that's been laying outside in the snow for weeks. Did they show the one they pulled off his foot? No. Well, they did, because this isn't the one they found on the scene. Because again, it's a left shoe they found on the scene. This is a right shoe. No liking that cough, Baker. Have you considered reaching out to Dr. Yuri? I heard in court this week he's medical expert of the utmost expertise. I'm thinking about it, but I just got a dry throat because it's 4 a.m.
It's Dr. Yuri.
The court show was what they got from the ER. Yeah, but it was presented as the one that they found at the scene. The scene photo was reversed. Maybe.
Probably.
I don't know.
Can you trust anything in this trial anymore?
The sole in the sneaker in the bar looks white, but one on the lawn looks black. I would be stunned if they were not matching, and this discrepancy was only just noticed, though. I can't tell because, again, Jamie said this could be a shadow. This could be something. It could be the lighting, which to me...
Could be their stupid camera, because I'm so confused.
Why would it pick up an entire white sole as black, even if there's shadow on it? That it would be gray then.
Know.
Because
really
this part of the snow that's on the sole looks white.
I mean, I don't know.
No, that's the problem. We don't know. Because you can see there's shadows falling, so the light angle is from up here. So why would this white sole show up as black when the snow is white down here, which would be the same shadow as the sole? If it's not black. I don't know. I just know, I hope Microdots is looking at this and is clearing it up. What if any problems there might be? What kind of shoes are the swooshes on the inside? Yes, the swooshes are on, at least on the one on the ground, it's on the inside.
Mhm.
I wanted to ask about the note that Lally's assistant passed to O'Keefe's brother. Is that even acceptable in court? Well, Karen Reed turns around and talks to her family. Was it doing a sidebar? Then I don't think it could be that much of a problem. But
Yeah, I
again,
don't think it was.
I didn't notice it. Have a nice walk. Take the pic with you. You rock black Pumas. I have a few. I have Adidas and Pumas a lot. Well, microdots is more of a enhancer. Could be dirt on the sole. Could be, but it is a pristine shoe. Again, did they wash the shoe? They shouldn't change the evidence. I'm gonna use that a lot, Maria. Did you see the image that came up in court today from a different camera angle in the Sally port? It wasn't a different angle. It was the same angle. It was just switched to the right direction because what the state provided was a mirrored image. It's just like when I do this. I love doing this.
You do.
This is what they had done to the video. They just did this. So what you thought was the right side, all of a sudden was the left side. So no one would notice that Sergeant Proctor went down, stood on the rear right side of the car where the broken tail light supposedly was, and moved around a little bit with his head. And I don't know what he did. No one knows what he did. Is it possible he could have taken hold? Because we know the tail light was cracked. Karen Reed even admits that. Every testimony we had said she had a cracked tail light from hitting John's car. Could he just have ripped some pieces off and thrown at the yard so people could find it?
Mm.
It's not beyond a reasonable doubt, and that's all you need in a case like this. Even the version with the black sole has a white sole with just black on the bottom, so they look the same-ish from the side. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yours have the swoosh on both sides. Well, I think it depends on which one it is. Yes, there's shoes. No, I'm looking at the reason why I say it's a left shoe is because you can see the sole goes in like this.
Mhm.
Not yet, Lefty. Will be done before the end of June. Bevel promised us today.
She did.
Did the snow wash the shoe? Snow washes the car in Colorado. Well, they should take it, preserve it, and put it on butcher's paper to take up any residue. But why is the shoe then looking so nice? You're 25 minutes behind, but the lady leaving May 16th isn't the defense fault. It's the prosecution went past that. Agreed, LDR. Baker's twin marker. I'm so far behind. Were the footage from the passenger side? We have seen footage from the other side when they submitted till the light removal video. No, we haven't been shown that piece of video. The only video we have from the light removal side is that light removal video we saw, and then this video that was all black that you couldn't see anything in from the same angle.
Mhm.
Nike Ebony and Ivory edition. Why didn't the DA check the video before submitting it to see if it was doctored? Because he was the one who doctored it. That's why Bukaknik, when he was asked about it today, the first thing he said was, yes, it's mirrored. I noticed it was mirrored. I don't know why, but it was mirrored. Because Lally knew he was found out because Lally went on X yesterday and saw everyone had seen he made a boo-boo. They changed the car so you wouldn't think about it, that you couldn't see that, and that Proctor went down to the wrong. Well, I don't know if it was Lally or someone a little more
I think
intelligent.
it came that way from the police station.
Yeah,
And
but
he didn't say
didn't
anything
notice.
about it though. Oh yeah, he didn't say anything. That's for sure.
Jamie too.
That's a-
I'm not planning on baking tomorrow because now I have streamed on Friday. When I wake up, I will see how late it is. It's you two girls, you run me too hard.
I got some work to do tomorrow, so I'm whatever you want to do. If you want to take a break, I'm all for it.
She's more innocent than ever. Yeah, that exactly. But it shows the camera picks up footage from that side. They should have it. We know that there's a motion activated camera that's missing 90 minutes of video. They talked about that in a pre-trial hearing, and Lally said, I don't know.
Well, what's on the USB? I'm so curious. You know they got to have something, and it's got to be related to that.
Yeah. Self-tying, self-drying. I have been beginning to wonder if someone is doctoring documents to, instead of everyone on the stand lying about what they said in them. No, because all these witnesses come off as highly incredible. No, that's not how you say it. Uncredible.
No.
Don't think
Isn't
about it,
it
Jamie.
incredible?
This story
Because it
this
means-
story is this is a little it's a little too convenient. Some would say inconvenient with all these. And if it's not credible, it's uncredible.
It's not credible. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Which
lovely
means
friends.
not credible.
I love that guy. We need one of those cases when we're done with this one.
Yeah.
I will come down and make sure my blood vessels doesn't pop, because I'm getting a little tired now. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, incredible, the opposite of credible.
Mm-hmm.
This story is incredible, and they are all not credible. Go back and rewatch the Bradley Yon case. When he does his opening statements, he said, it's not credible. It's incredible, the opposite of credible, because he's an idiot. Not disclosing the camera angle that is favorable to the defendant is a violation of due process of exculpatory evidence, is it not? Will, Observer 777, let me tell you about this little trick that says, if Lally don't know it's there, it doesn't exist, and then he is not doing anything wrong. It went missing. Just like the library video, when they downloaded it, the exact 4 minutes that could be exculpatory to Karen Reed, it was a glitch. It's a mistake in the program. They didn't do it on purpose. They don't know how it happened. They will have their tech guy come in and say, yeah, we downloaded it. It just went missing. We don't know how. Because if everything in this case was judged by a real judge, imagine having the guy from the bike case. I'm going to Green Bay. I'm going to play for the defense. I'll try for the defense, so I won't be here Monday.
Judge B. Borowski.
Yeah, Judge Borowski. He would have yelled at Lally within the first day, and he would have thrown all of this evidence out. Even Judge Schroeder in the Rittenhouse case, when he finally figured out what they were talking about, understood that this was BS. But Bev won't throw anything out, and she will never, ever rule this is against this is a violation of due process. I think if any other judge would have this should be, with the evidence presented right now, a direct verdict, and even at this point, they should file a motion to dismiss with prejudice because of all deducted evidence being brought in. And Bev should grant them with prejudice because then they can retry it. They don't want to dismiss case. They want dismissal with prejudice so she goes free. But this case is absolutely bonkers. He said incredible isn't the opposite of credible. No, he said the opposite of credible is incredible. It's not credible, it's incredible.
Don't misquote Bradley.
What did he say then?
I know, I'm just joking, but like I think, yeah, it was something like that. It was like, it's incredible, which means not credible. And we were all like, what? No, that's not what it means at all.
Yeah, I saw that too. But that's after they removed the tail light housing. This is before they moved it to the barracks. So it doesn't matter if you can see it because at that point the tail light housing is gone. Still 20 minutes behind, but he didn't say the 30 square feet was one area, 5 here, 10 there, 15 over there. Lol. Well, legendary. I have to take your word for it because I was just, I don't know. I can't remember. Now I can feel like I'm getting fuzzy brained from the lack of sleep. Now I know how the expert feels.
He didn't say anything. Yeah. I'm very confused by what they were doing, so.
Someone put a cuckoo bird in the tree outside my bedroom window. It's been going all night. I blame Baker. Well, happy National Day. I put it outside just to remind you should get back to Denmark because we had our National Day yesterday, which is before you, so we're better than you. And thank you so much, Nick.
Yeah, they don't really know. None of them know measurements correctly.
Measurements doesn't matter because no one has a fixed point they measured from.
No. They're just guessing. They're just guessing.
Yeah, and we have the body everywhere from 5 to 20 feet off the road. That alone. My book title should be "What If Any." And again, it's all of this is just stupid. I'm sorry to say, Jamie, it's so stupid.
Yeah.
Judge Cannon has no choice but to prosecute this case to the worst of her abilities, which are nil. Just to save the DA and keep the corruption train in corrupt Massachusetts running. You all should vote for some other people. Yeah, well, I think she should bring it up and say, Lally, I'm throwing this. You misstated what this was. Jury, I have to remind you that you are the arbiter of truth, and the truth in this video can't be asserted because Lally presented it in a deceptive way. But she's not going to do that. She's just going to say, Lally, should I read the motion now? Who, if anyone, is driving the ambulance? If we don't know what John was on the lawn, all other measurements are moot. They tell us nothing. Well, he was removed by the EMTs, but still, someone should go up there right after he's removed and put down an evidence marker. Just put down one tent pole and said it was in this general area, because you would then expand your search pattern from the body. Because they didn't think this was a car hit to begin with.
Sounds so easy, right?
Oh, did you know someone, who was it today? It was John DePetro show, who really got big into this case today. Him and Caffey Daffy is really really fond of each other. He said it's a trick of the defense with the flip video. So they tricked Lally to put in a misleading evidence.
Who said this?
A guy who just started being around the case a couple of weeks ago, John
Great.
Petro something.
And
Who
he
is
said the defense did it. Okay, well
Yeah.
they didn't present the evidence.
no. It's so stupid that it's a trick of the defense. How? It's again, you're just sitting here. Your mouth is moving, but your brain isn't working. So sadly, but Jamie, I think I'm gonna end it now. Go get some sleep because my eyes are getting heavy.
Yeah.
Is it okay, Jamie? Can I go back to bed?
Yes, you can go back to bed.
Thank you so much. And everyone else, I don't know what tomorrow brings. I might bake if I'm in the mood. I need some cake. Other than that, thank all of you so much for joining us tonight. It was a little fast impromptu show, and I hope those of you who are new here, please do all the YouTube things on the way out. And to the rest of you, I only have one thing to say.
Your Honor, I apologize.
What exhibit are you referring to?
I'm going to make this 100, Your Honor. 100, because it is 100% correct.
Objection, Your Honor.
Well, you see the lawyer's face? Okay, we have to go back and they.
Widower case.
Did you, whether it's true or not, believe that Mr. Randolph had slept with your wife?
I wouldn't care.
You wouldn't have cared?
No,
Did you believe he had slept with your wife?
no,
Did you believe he slept with your mother-in-law?
probably did. Everybody has.
Wait a minute, I need this story time.
Everybody has.
Everybody has.
Everyone has slept with his mother.
If I showed you.
Oof.
Oh my God.
I'm having a Jamie moment. And the way he just said it, he was just like, everyone did. Things on YouTube.
Mr. Randolph, do you?
I got that against the man. You don't know.
Called him chicken shit.
That's right, you was chicken shit.